we're going to have a time of prayer. So we're going to pray for ourselves and also pray for others as well. So, and something that I said earlier, that our actions should reflect that Jesus is King and Lord of our lives. And an application of that is praying, living that out by praying. And as I said, it is easier said than done. So we're going to take time in practicing for praying for each other. Before I do that, I'm just going to tell two quick stories about prayer. Prayer for others and prayer for ourselves. So the first story, these are true stories, by the way. These are true stories. So in 1940, in the 1940s, a professor named Dr. Orr brought his class to John Wesley's house. So John Wesley was a pivotal figure in the First Great Awakening. You guys have heard that the Jesus Revolution was the last Great Awakening in America. Well, John Wesley was pivotal in the First Great Awakening in the 1700s. He traveled over 250,000 miles by horseback to spread spiritual revivals across America and also England. And out of the First Great Awakening is also, John Wesley also then founded the Methodist Church. But this professor in the 1940s, Dr. Orr, is taking his students through John Wesley's house. And he shows the bedroom of John Wesley. And in Wesley's bedroom, there's two indents next to each other on the floor. Dr. Orr explained to his class that those two indents were caused by John Wesley. He would kneel in the same spot in that bedroom for hours, and he would pray for revival for America and England. And he did it so much, praying in the same spot, that he made indents in the floorboard and the carpet. So, Professor, he continues on with the tour of the house, finishes up, and they go back on the bus. And Dr. Orr realizes one of the students is missing. So he heads back into John Wesley's house to look for the student. And he finds that missing student kneeling in the exact same spot where John Wesley prayed all those years ago. And he overheard the student praying, "Do it again, Lord. Do it again in me." That student was Billy Graham. The Lord did do it again with Billy Graham. Because of Billy Graham, millions have heard the good news and have been saved. But first, Billy Graham knew the importance of prayer. This is our other story. It's about Kay Smith, Chuck Smith's wife. But before the Jesus Revolution was in full swing, Calvary Chapel was a small church, about 20 people. So it's about the amount of people we have in this room tonight. And Chuck Smith was the pastor of that church, and he also had to work as a produce manager at a supermarket as well as being a pastor. And during that time, a group of hippies would walk by Chuck and Kay's house. And Kay Smith would pray for that group of hippies as they walked by the house. And I think you guys know, right, God moved mightily through Calvary Chapel with hippies getting saved and them getting off of drugs. In a couple of months, that 20 people turned to 200 and then to 2,000. And now the movement has been to millions of people. So Kay Smith prayed for those hippies to get saved, and hippies did get saved. But in that specific group of hippies that were walking by their house that Kay would pray for, in that group was Greg Laurie, high out of his mind. Greg Laurie not only did get saved, he also has preached to millions of people just like Billy Graham. This is my point of telling these stories, is that prayer for yourself and prayer for others is important. It's a gift we have that we get to communicate with the God of the universe. And also with these two examples, prayer was done before revival. We're at a stage right now, right? The stage is set for revival. We don't know what our roles are going to be with that, but we need to be diligent in prayer.